Hello, good morning. Friday again. If you're watching, please pop in the comments a little hello so that I know you're there, so I know I'm not talking to myself. And Eric, right? Gonna say hello to everybody? Are you gonna help today? Or are you gonna sleep through it? I'm gonna sleep through it. It's probably best. Good morning, people. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Sheila. Good morning, Eve. No woofs, nothing. No, it's a bit tired out already, aren't you? It's time for your morning nap. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Karen. Diane actually made it up in time this week. Yay! Actually, that ties in with the subject today. Good morning, Penelope. Good morning, Jess. Hello. We need to get you a different colour chair, don't we? Because you kind of blend in with the chair. Black on black. Good morning, Kay. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Sue. Wow, lots of lovely people this morning. Thank you so much. Good morning, Barney. Right. Yeah. Go on then, go off to sleep. Oh, little snooze. Little snooze. Good morning, Caroline. I can't believe it's Friday again. I can't believe we're not that far away from September. It's like we blinked, and although I am definitely in one of those Star Trek time vortex things, kind of Groundhog Day it feels like. Are you disappearing? Was it that boring already? Go on then. Obviously something outside is far more interesting. Good morning, Kelly. So I have an apology to make in that I drew a card to see what to talk about this week. And for the eagle-eyed, actually, before we go any further, good morning, Karen. Before we go any further, I have a new webcam. It's a bit widescreen, which I'm not sure about. It's also much clearer. Good morning, Rachel. So I'm feeling a little bit spied on. It's very clear and kind of, blue. Yeah, it looks a little bit blue, doesn't it? But anyway, it doesn't autofocus, which the old webcam used to do. So hopefully I won't go all fuzzy and blurry, although personally I think I'd probably prefer to be fuzzy and blurry, but there you go. Good morning, Zinnia. So anyway, I pulled a card for this week's subject, but I think I'm influencing them, which is kind of one of those things that happens anyway. But the card that I pulled was Marigold. That looks very blue, doesn't it? There we are. And it's all about energy. Quite what this woman's doing here, I really don't know. But she looks like she's leaping for something. We're not going to be quite that energetic this morning. We'll just sit and be energetic. But the cards Marigold, which it is actually bright orange. I'll get back a bit and see the colour better. It fades the colour out, doesn't it? Anyway, marigolds from my garden. Photos from my garden. There we go. They were last year. We haven't grown any this year because we have slugs and snails in our garden and they eat all of the marigolds. You put them out and then overnight come up back in the morning and all you get is stalks left where the slugs and the snails have eaten all of the marigold flowers. So we haven't grown them this year, but they were in our garden last year. Good morning, Emma. Sue, same here, fuzzy and blurry most days. Yeah, I think that's the general feeling at the moment. So energy, interesting card because energy means lots of things, particularly in witchcraft, healing, Reiki, all sorts. Energy means lots of things. I think it's a huge part of witchcraft because pretty much everything that you do involves connecting with energy, whether it's in ritual or spell working or healing. It all involves energy of some sort. Particularly like myself, who's an animist, so I believe that everything has an energy field. It's all around us. So it's an interesting subject to talk about, but also the energy from within, our personal energy as well. So a bit windy today. It's the door slamming. Good morning, Deirdre. Emma, there are sacrificial plants on my allotment. Yeah, I think if you have slugs and snails, there's a lot of sacrificial plants. Sue's basil is now stumps. Yeah, I've never successfully managed to grow basil. I've got things flashing up on my screen. Go away. I'm updating or something. Anyway, let's get rid of that. Basil, no, I've never successfully managed to grow it. I must admit, that's one of the herbs that I haven't managed to tackle. Maria brought some copper tape just to see if it will work this time. I have heard that. I haven't tried that, Maria. You put the copper tape around the top of the plant pots, don't you? So the snails apparently don't like to crawl over it. Good morning, Vanessa. Yeah, Eve lost her marigolds to the slugs and snails too. Good morning, Rhiannon from York. Oh, lovely York. Went there as a teenager. Must go back. Beautiful city. Good morning, Melody. Diane had to eventually sort with my beloved host collection of snails. Yes, snails they are a bit of a pain in our garden. Good morning, Dolores. Right, so energy. See, you can. The copper gives them a shock. Oh, yeah, it's a conductor, isn't it? Ouch. We have just bought some new eco-friendly stuff, actually. It's kind of wool stuff that you put around the top of the pots because they like to eat our dahlias too. So we'll let you know how we get on with that. But energy, I think I pulled this card this week because my energy levels have been pretty low, my personal energy levels. So I have been affecting the cards, so I apologize for that. But it is an interesting subject. And I think particularly when you work with energy, it is one of the first lessons that we teach within the Kitchen Witch School, because I think it is so important within witchcraft to recognize and be able to work with energy. We can draw it from all around us. Mother Earth is really, really happy to give up her energy for you. You can draw it from beneath your feet, you can draw it from the earth, you can draw it from the sky above you, you can draw it from the air, you can draw it from all of the elements. Bear in mind that your body is just a conduit for that energy. You just channel the energy. Don't draw the energy from within you, because that really will leave you feeling particularly drained. But we channel all the energy, whether it is for ritual or working magic, and for healing, obviously. If you work with Reiki, then you're working with universal energy. But our personal energy levels can be affected by all sorts of things. So the meaning for this actual card, jumping about a bit because energy is such a huge subject. So and obviously it's from the Flower Magic Oracle deck. Rachel tried eggshells. Oh, okay. Crushed eggshells. See, I keep them for magic. I'll have to share them with the slugs. This message for Marigold is very apt for me this week. Are your energy reserves running low? Do you need a boost, or are you too full of energy and on a complete sugar rush? No, not. See, that's the two opposites of personal energy. You can be really, really low in your personal energy reserves, or you can be on a super sugar rush and total madness, running around like a blue ass what's it. Complete opposites. Neither one is very good. You might even be experiencing both flips of the energy coin. 1 minute you're rushing around like a mad thing, and the next you feel like someone pulled the plug. Yeah, been there, done that. Having such extremes of energy is not good. What in your life is making you really tired out all the time or flap around like a headless chicken? Take time to take stock and examine what's going on. Kick in those psychic powers, grab hold of that intuition, and bring about some changes in energy. Use the force. That was especially for Karen. Use the force. Use the force of nature or the universe and get some answers. Find a quiet spot and give yourself at least a few minutes time out to relax, breathe, and tap into life itself. And I think that's really, really important. I think you do get to a point where you think, no, this is just ridiculous. I've got to stop and do something about this. And I think grounding probably comes into that as well. If you are on that sugar rush high, then you need to ground. But if your energy reserves are completely low as well, then you need to ground, because you need to level out. You need to touch base and find out what the problem is. And grounding will help with both of those sort of flips of the coin. Marigold itself actually is my go-to for psychic powers. Whenever I'm making a psychic energy blend, I see psychic energy. There's another flip side of energy. I add dried marigold flowers. You can put them under the bed to ensure a good sleep and invite in prophetic dreams. Place the flowers around your house and hang over doorways for protection and to fill your home with positive energy, because they are quite a bright, sunshiny flower. With the bright, cheerful flower colours and the energy of the sun, marigold makes a good herb to use for happiness and uplifting workings. So it really is a good flower that's packed full of all sorts of energy. And I've seen lots of comments pinging up here. Good morning, Christine. Eggshells didn't work for your magnolia. Boo. Boo. Emma says they won't slither over hair either. We're getting into real witchcraft here now, aren't we? I'm just collecting your hair. Honestly, it's for the slugs. I wouldn't use it for anything else. Vanessa says, put salt with the eggshells. Yeah, that's not good for slugs, is it? Christine says, get a chicken. Do you know, Christine, I would love a chicken. I want a chicken, a goat, and a pig. But my garden's not that big. Yes, Christine, perhaps you could hire out chickens for the evening just to get rid of the slugs. Karen, may the force be with us all. Yep, indeed, Karen, we all need some of that. Sue, I can see you're not 100% today. No, I am flagging a bit today, but I've got magic to work for energy, so hopefully it will sort me out. And chatting to you guys always makes me feel good anyway. So marigold revealed, the proper name is calendula. That does sound like a Roman soldier, doesn't it? But the Romans called it calendula because it flowered throughout the calendar year. Calendula, calendar. Peasants couldn't afford gold, still can't afford gold. So when they were finding something to offer to the Virgin Mary, they would take marigolds instead. So they've got a big, strong association with the Virgin Mary. And the name marigold apparently derives from the Old English words for Mary and gold. Da-da-da. Marigold, marigold. Good morning, Sylvia. Christine, chocolate helps when feeling a bit down. It does, Christine, but I made cakes yesterday, so I have cakes. I made cakes from sweet potatoes, which is quite bizarre, but actually they look pretty good, so I'm looking forward to them today. So that's marigold, and I think the card is all about working out. We all live ridiculously busy lives, and the world is so upside down at the moment. That I think it's about finding a balance or finding out what's draining your energy, what areas of your life are draining your energy. Emma has, you've got an allotment, Emma. Fantastic. The allotment neighbours' hens got on your plot last year, cleared out a ceiling. Oh no, cleared out seedlings and young plants. Oh, boo. No, I don't think chickens don't discriminate, do they? Maria saw that cake, looks very nice. Yes, we've got a chocolate sweet potato cake and we've got a spiced sweet potato cake. So it'll be interesting to work with those today. That'll make me feel better. So looking at marigold, as I say, energy is in all things. That's my belief anyway. It doesn't matter whether it is a stone or a shell or even the 1970s concrete car park. It's still going to have that energy to it. It might be quite a sad, miserable energy, but it's all going to have energy and we can tap into that. Lani loves sweet potato. Yeah, now I have veggie boxes delivered each week and they've been delivering a lot of sweet potatoes in the last few weeks, but I'm the only one in the house that eats them. So I had a bit of a glut. So I made cake and everyone ate the cake. I only told them afterwards that it had sweet potato in it. So yeah, personal energy as well, slightly different to the magical energy. But you can work with all sorts of things to boost your energy, to level your energy, to sort your energy out. There's lots of, I've got a list here, foods and herbs. So coltsfoot, elm and plantain, all good herbs for working with energy. Baking powder is an interesting one. Because you use it to make things rise, because you use things to make things lift, it's got that magical property of energy. So it's a real boost. So you can use it, you can eat it, obviously, in the form of cake. See where I'm going? But you can also use baking powder in your magical workings as well, sprinkle it in spell pouches and things to give that kind of energy boost. Cashew nuts, chilies, obviously. Chilies are a real big fiery energy, so you can sprinkle chili seeds in any of, or chili powder in any of your magical workings to give that kind of energy boost. It boosts any kind of spell, doesn't matter what it's for. That chili energy will boost the power and make it work quicker as well. Good old coffee, obviously, very good for personal energy, although, let's get technical here. Only briefly. Caffeine only works for a brief amount of time, and then you get a low the other side of it, apparently. I don't really drink coffee, so unless it's in a latte with lots of caramel syrup. But anyway, curry, good for energy. And again, curry powder, sprinkle it on any of the spells, and it gives that kind of big energy boost to it. Maria mustard. Yeah, mustard would work. Mustard would work because it's got that kick to it. Grapefruit, lime, orange, all of the citrusy ones give a real energy boost. Horseradish, if anybody's ever eaten a horseradish, you know what kind of kick that's got. Paprika, same as chilies. Potato's an interesting one. Potato gives works magically for energy, but I think it's more conserved energy, energy that sort of lasts for a while rather than that big boost of energy. Saffron's another one that gives an energy kick, and also sesame seeds. But I also looked at the other side of it, because if you are on that whole hyper thing, or if you are completely burnt out, then you need to relax. You need to take some time. Chamomile is the obvious one. Cramp bark, frankincense and plum are all very good for relaxing. Frankincense is brilliant. It's so good for everything. Let's have a look here. Emma made beetroot and chocolate cake and fed it to the students. Their faces when I told them what they'd just eaten. Beetroot, I have had beetroot and chocolate cake. It's quite an earthy taste, isn't it? But put it with chocolate and no one's ever going to know. I also looked at grounding as well. So I think if your energy levels are, if they're too high or if they're too low, then grounding you will bring you back into a space where you can have a proper look at what's going on. Patchouli, a fantastic scent, but that's really good for grounding. Sorrel, barley, beetroot, very earthy, very grounding. Borage, bread, obviously very grounding. Cake, very grounding. Cookies. Honestly, I didn't just make this up. It is true. Pistachios, potato and rice, all really grounding things. And we mentioned chocolate earlier. If you're a fan of the Harry Potter films, there is a part where Professor Lupin gives Harry Potter a piece of dark chocolate after he's been attacked by the Dementors. It works. Not that I've been attacked by Dementors, obviously, but chocolate is really good for grounding. It's really good for bringing your energy levels kind of into sync with each other. So Professor Lupin wasn't wrong. I also looked as well at things for stamina, because if you are flagging, then and you need that extra boost. I've jumped now to crystals, so you can tell I'm in the wrong headspace, can't you? So look, that's the dog whinging from the conservatory. Flipping to crystals for stamina, agate, carnelian and citrine, all really good crystals to give you that kind of, if you're on the last straight, you can see the end in sight and you need that bit of boost to keep you going. Agate, carnelian, citrine are really good to help you with that. There are loads of crystals for relaxation, grounding, and energy, all sorts. I will put them on the blog post afterwards. I won't read them all to you because you'll go to sleep. But trust your intuition, obviously. Focusing on the grounding ones in particular, I think the darker colour stones, the black stones, work very well for grounding, and also things like petrified wood. Tourmaline's also very good as well. But if all else fails, get a pebble. There's nothing more earthy and grounding than a pebble or a stone. So simple and easily available. Just hold on to it and that will help you to ground. If you are used to working with the tree exercise for grounding, that's a very good one. Visualize yourself as a tree and roots growing from your feet down into the soil. You can do that when you're sitting at your desk. You can do that when you pop to the toilet. That's a really quick thing to kind of just bring yourself back into that right space so that you can then start again. Sue's put on £10 just listening to me talk about food. Yeah, I do that. I can do that quite easily. Maria's been affected by demented people where you live. Yeah, we've all got a few of those, I think. Sylvie likes hot chocolate with a touch of cinnamon. Yes, absolutely delicious. I like to make a kind of chai spiced hot chocolate as well, which has got cinnamon and nutmeg and ginger in it. Good morning, Jessie. Yeah, a nice mug of hot chocolate with a touch of cinnamon. Very, very boosting to your energy. Definitely. So I've got a little spell to work with today. It's got a few things to it. We've got candles, we've got crystals, but this spell is all about you. This isn't a spell working for anybody else. This is about you. Let's take some time out for you. Remember that you're important. If you've depleted all of your energy, then you're going to be absolutely no good for helping or looking after other people. So it has to start with you. And I'm very, very well aware of my husband's eyes boring into the side of my head because I don't often practice what I preach. We're all very, very bad, I think, at not looking after ourselves. But that's where it has to start from. Emma loves chai latte. It is my favourite drink, Emma. I don't drink coffee particularly, but chai latte I absolutely love. It's got all good things in it. So I've got a spell today for you, and this is a rainbow spell. It doesn't have to be a rainbow spell, but I like working with colour, so that's what I'm going to do. But this is all about looking after you, and it's all about focusing on the areas where your energy is being taken or where you can boost it. It's quite an adaptable spell. You can make it work for you. Excuse me. Hay fever this morning as well. I'm a bit done with the summer. I quite like the autumn now, thanks. So, rainbow spell involves 7 colours. I have 7 crystals. You don't have to have different coloured crystals. You could have all clear quartz. You could even have all just pebbles or shells. Whatever you've got that works for you, make it work. Work for you. I did forget to say, but you guys know if you've got any questions while I'm doing this, pop the comments in the thing. Melody will have to catch up and replay. The video keeps cutting out. Oh gosh, I hope that's not happening for everybody. I hope you're all still with me. So let's look at the crystals. Obviously, the 7 colours of the rainbow are also the 7 colours of the chakras. And I always remember it by Richard of York gave battle in vain. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Aloha from Maui. Hello, Lisa. Diane said, oh, good. I hope it's working for everybody, especially with my new sparkly webcam. So for the red one, I have a red jasper. Go with what you've got. Go with what works for you. For orange, I have an orange carnelian. For yellow, I have a yellow citrine. Green is green aventurine. Blue, I have blue lace agate. indigo, purple, is amethyst. For violet, I actually went for white. I went for selenite. Can't really see the white one. Because it worked for me. If I did and ah actually, I ummed and ahed between selenite and fluorite. Because fluorite was the first one I picked up thinking that's kind of violet. But selenite worked for me because it works with your crown chakra and the connection to divine, higher things. And to match them, I have 7 coloured candles. Colours of the rainbow to match them. You don't have to have 7 different colour candles. These are all from Freya's Cauldron, in case you want to know, as are the candle holders. You could go with 7 white candles. You could also go with just 1 candle and mark 7 points on it. Work with what you've got. Don't spend loads of money on it. Just work with what you've got. But I have the Freya's Cauldron subscription boxes, and I get lots of lovely coloured candles each month. So that's what I started with. So it's all about you. First of all, you have to work out. Look, notes. You didn't see those, did you? You thought I was doing it all from my head. I am mostly. So you've got to decide what these colours mean to you and what the important energy or intent from them is that you need. So I've gone with the red jasper for red, and this one I'm going for energy. The actual energy reserves. These are what these stand for me. I'm going to place it in a rainbow shape. Whoop. Ignore the shapes, symbols on the candles holders. So I've got red, and I'm going to tell Sue, love the thought of 1 candle. Yeah, if you haven't got 7 candles, just use 1 candle and you can mark 7 points. You could use pins. You could put a pin in at each point so that when it burns down, the pin drops out and you know that's the first one done. You could draw on them. You could colour on them. Yeah, 1 candle is absolutely fine if you don't want to work with 7. So you have to tell the crystals what you want them to do. You've got to program it. You've got to tell it, hello, crystal. This is what I'd like you to do. So with the red jasper, I'm going for energy. This is personal energy, my energy reserves, to restock them, to recharge them. So you tell the crystal what you need it to do, and you place it in front of the coloured candle. Then we're going for orange. So I've got the orange candle and the orange carnelian. Now I'm going with personal power for this orange carnelian. So I need this crystal to boost my personal power. So that's that one there. Then we're going with, I am repeating Richard of York Gave Battle in Vain in my head to make sure I get the colours in the right order. You don't know that because you can't hear my thoughts, thankfully. That would scare everyone. So for yellow, I'm going for happiness, personal happiness. So I'm going to charge this crystal with personal happiness. To charge them with energy, hold them in your hand, draw up the energy from beneath the ground, from the air, from above you, and channel that energy into the crystal and set your intent into that crystal. And we'll pop that one in there. So that one's for personal happiness. Then we're going with the green. And the green one is hope. We all need a bit of hope from time to time. And if you're trying to sort things out, if you're trying to balance your energies, if you're trying to sort whole daily life out, then hope is a good one to have. So that one's charged with personal hope. Let's move it up here. And now we're on to blue. And I've got the blue lace agate. So for blue, I'm going with communication. Blue lace agate in particular is very good for communication. It resonates with the throat chakra, so it's really good. And I think that with any situation, particularly I think if your energy levels have got low, if you're doing too much, if you've burnt yourself out, then a lot of it can be sorted by communication. You need to talk with the people you work with, you need to talk with your family, you need to talk with friends to get them to understand the situation that you're in. if you don't shout, people aren't going to know that you're struggling. And I absolutely put my hand up to that. I am rubbish at shouting when I need help. So communication is really key, I think, to helping get your issue sorted out so that you can regain your energy. So the blue one is charged for communication. And then I ran out of candle holders. So I've got indigo, which is the amethyst. And this one is all about faith. You have to have faith, not only in yourself and your own abilities, but in those around you. I think as well, also a big thing about sorting out your energy, if you are doing too much, is about delegation. So it's about having faith and trust in other people to share things with, really. So this one is all about faith. And the last one is the selenite. And this one is all about inner sight and clarity. You need to be able to see what you're doing that's draining your energy. You need to be able to see a clear pathway to sorting out your whole situation so that you can regain your personal energy. So this one's all about clarity and insight. Those are my associations that I've put with it. You might decide that you want something else. You can charge them with any intent that you want to. It's entirely up to you. And as I say, you can use pebbles, you can use shells, you can use one candle. You don't have to use all of these if you don't have them. Witchcraft should be cheap. It shouldn't cost the earth. So use what you have got to hand and what works for you. Lani says it's easy for us to get into a habit of thinking we can do everything on our own, but we can't, and we do need help from time to time. Yeah, as a confirmed control freak, that's one of the biggest lessons that I've had to learn, is that I can't do everything. And I think as well that people don't always do things how you want them to or react how you want them to, and that's absolutely fine because they shouldn't do. I think it's about learning and accepting as well. But yeah, it is. So we all need help from time to time. It's about trusting and having faith and speaking out, really, shouting when you need some help, because otherwise you will run yourself into the ground again. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Christine, totally missing contact with my spiritual friends. It is a weird situation, isn't it? And I think that's quite draining as well, because we aren't doing what we're used to doing on a general basis. Yeah, we have to a certain degree lost that connection. Although online, absolute blessing to be able to keep in contact with you guys. And I mean, we're talking today with people from across the globe, which you would never normally be able to do face to face. So I think as well, it is about counting your blessings. But that's your rainbow spell all set out. We've charged each crystal with the intent, and then you just have to light the candles. So I'm getting my lightsaber. And I'm going to restate the intent as I light each candle. So red for personal energy. Orange for personal power. Yellow for happiness. Green for hope. And this has got a very tiny wick, so I'm going to hope that it lights. Come on. Blue for communication. See, now I've blown it out. That's because I'm talking over the top of it. But the blue one isn't going to play fair. That's quite funny, isn't it? That's communication. That's asking for help, which I'm absolutely rubbish at, and the candle won't light. I'm going with the fact that the wick is really low. We'll come back to that one. Don't you just love it? All synchronicity. So purple is faith. About having faith in your own abilities and having faith in others to be able to help you out. It's about trust and faith. Good morning, Leslie. Sylvie, amethyst, favourite crystal. Really, really good all round, the amethyst. Really good for all sorts of things. And we'll go to the last one, which is selenite, which is about inner sight and clarity. So state it as you go round. I won't give up on the communication one. Or I'll just cheat and go and get another blue candle. There we go. There's always a solution. There's always a solution. Let's get a new candle. Blue for communication. And it's still struggling. There you go. Gonna have to have a chat with Deity later. Maria says, use the blue one to light from the faith candle. Brilliant idea. Absolutely brilliant idea, Maria. Fantastic. I just cheated. So there you've got your 7 candles and you've got your 7 crystals charging in front of them. You have energy, personal power, happiness, hope, communication, faith, and clarity. All of those things will come together to sort out your energy problems. Now you have to sit quietly and think about it. Watch the candles, ground yourself, watch the flame, and really take notice. Hello, you come to join in. Really take notice of each of the candles and each of the crystals. Moving this out of the dog's way. And wait for messages. Clear your mind and sit quietly and think about each of those individual things and the areas of your life that they're associated with and what you can do. Think about the areas that are actually really draining, and then think about solutions. It doesn't have to be anything major. It can be tiny little things. Just tiny little tweaks will make a difference. But spend some time, watch the flames, and focus on them. If you're using just one candle, light the candle, put the first crystal in front of it, wait till it burns down to the limit that you've set. Focus on that particular crystal and intent. Then place your next crystal and then work with that particular intent. And then, you get the gist of it. Good night, Lisa. 10:30 p.m. here and can't keep my eyes open. Oh, wow. Go to bed. Sweet dreams, Lisa. Thank you for joining us. You've got to spend some time because you've got all of the answers. They're all in here somewhere. It's just a case of finding them. This spell will hopefully help. So sit quietly, think about it, work on each one and where you can make those changes. It might be communication. You might have to talk to someone about it. You might have to tell your boss that you've taken on too much. You might have to tell your kids that they're going to have to start with the housework. Good luck with that one. It might be with your personal energy. It might be that you are doing too much and that you have to give yourself some time out. Start with self-care. Even if it's just half an hour a week, just to sit with the door shut and not listen to kids and dogs and, anything else. You got to look after yourself, really. And the happiness one. What makes you happy? Do you have hobbies? Do you want to go out and have a coffee with friends? Make time for it so that you're not taking up your own energy reserves. And that's it, basically. When you've tapped into the energy, when you've got your answers, blow the candles out. And don't inhale the smoke. Is that good? Is that interesting? And then you can take the crystals, pop them all in a little pouch, and you can carry them with you. So if you throughout the day realize that you need a bit of energy or you need a bit of insight, you can hold on to your pouch of crystals and draw some energy from them, or pick one of the individual ones out and work with the energy of that individual one. You can also recharge them as well. You can leave the candles like this and reuse them again. If you don't burn them right the way down, you can leave them labeled for what they are, and then you can recharge them again. On a full moon would be brilliant. Get them out again, and the full moon, put your crystals in front and just recharge them. So it works for a long period of time, and you can recharge them. So you can reuse them again. And that's it. That's your rainbow spell for you, basically. Maria, can you burn them all the way through? Yep. If you've got, if you want to sit there while they all burn out and visualize and meditate and get some answers, then absolutely burn them right the way down. Absolutely no problem at all. If you've only burnt them a bit and you feel you've got your answer to that one, you can blow it out and then work on the next one. If you feel you've got all of the answers, blow them out, save them, and work with them again to recharge. But yes, absolutely. Trust your intuition on this when you think that you need to blow them out. And that's it. That's your rainbow spell for you. And that's for personal energy. We are so good at draining our own personal energy. Christine, this new moon has drained a lot of people this time. So this is a great talk this week. Thank you. Do you know, I think it is. I just pulled the card and I think I influenced it. And I have, this new moon has been quite one of those things, isn't it? Gillian, I thought you don't blow out candles. Have I got this wrong? No, there is a train of thought that says that you can't blow candles out. I've always done it. I don't have a problem with it at all. I don't want to pinch them out with my fingers because that hurts. And I'm not going to faff about with the candle snuffer. I've always blown them out and, touch wood. I haven't been struck by lightning or anything yet. I think it's personal choice, Gillian. There is a train of thought that says don't blow them out. You have to go with what works for you. I don't believe there's any right or wrong to it. If you prefer to snuff them, then snuff them. Obviously, never leave a burning candle unattended because, that sets fire to things like altar cloths and sideboards. Speaking from experience. You're very welcome, Xenia and Maria. Very powerful this time around. Yeah, always are right for you. Yeah, absolutely, Christine. You have got to trust your intuition and work with what's right for you. It's your magic. Everyone's pathway is going to be slightly different or a lot different. You've got to work with what works for you. Don't be told that something's definitely right or wrong. It's got to feel right for you. Your intuition will never let you down. Sue, such a nice cheerful spell for this week. So drained I could have crawled into a hole and stayed there. It has been that kind of week, hasn't it? It really has been that kind of week. I mean, I love to work with colour magic anyway, and what's more cheerful and empowering than a rainbow, really? But I associate colours with things, so for me it works to work with the colours. But as I say, if you've just got white candles, then work with white candles. If you've just got one candle, work with the one. And with the crystals, go with your choices. It's got to work for you and what you have to hand. You don't want to be spending loads of money on lots of crystals just to work a spell. So if all you've got is pebbles or shells, they work just as well because everything has energy in it. So that's the spell for this week. I will be back here again. You're very welcome, Deirdre. I will be back here again as usual on Friday mornings. We've got a few events and things going on. Check the website, rachelpatterson.co.uk, for all sorts of things. Karen, this will be great for a full chakra balance. Yeah, absolutely, because the colours of the rainbow tie in with the colours of your chakra. So, yes, it would work as a great chakra balance as well. Absolutely. If you are around this Sunday, do you have a curative magic book to hand, please? If you're around this Sunday on this Facebook group, thank you very much.
Well, your lovely assistant.
That's my little elf. I'm doing a book launch online of my curative magic book. Big old book, makes a brilliant doorstop. Bit big for propping up table legs, but and probably for smacking unruly teenagers around the back of the head with. It's quite weighty. But I'm doing a talk at 4 p.m. UK time on curative magic. I'm going to be going through the book, working some magic from the book, and I'm also going to be doing a couple of giveaways during the talk as well. So if you're around 4 p.m. this Sunday, the 23rd, from Curative Magic Chat. Please do join me. It'd be lovely to chat with you all. Oh, there's a link there as well. Thank you very much. You are very welcome, people. Everyone's saying thank you. Yeah, thank you to you guys, really, for joining me, because I'd be sitting here talking to myself otherwise, which would be really quite sad. But thank you so much. Don't tell Pete you have an elf. Where can I get one? Xenia, really looking forward to the book. Yeah, it was been an interesting one for me. It's a witch's guide to self-discovery, care and healing. Actually echoes what we've done today, really, but it does deal with all sorts of things. It deals with guilt, worry, grief, self-esteem, menopause, transitions, changes, stress, all stuff that I have personally experienced, but that we can help with the use of magic. So join me there if you are free. Rhiannon, if anyone ever comes to York for a weekend, please get in touch. Yep, well, we'd love to go to York. It's a bit of a trek for us, but we will get there. You're very welcome, Christine. You have a great weekend too. And that's it for this week. Again, as always, and may the force be with you too, Karen. Any questions you've got in the meantime, do message me. I'm always happy to help. Join us on the Kitchen Witch Facebook group. We've got a lovely group there who are always happy to answer questions and give opinions and share pictures and all sorts of things. Join us there if you'd like to. If you want me to talk about anything particular in the future, just message me. Happy to do so. You're very welcome, Sue. See you Sunday too. That'd be fab. Thank you. You've all these thank yous coming up, guys. You are absolutely fantastic. Thank you all for joining me again as usual. You guys rock. You absolutely do. Yes, I'd love to see you all on Sunday. That would be fantastic. It'd be fab to see some familiar faces. So thank you so much. Have a fantastic weekend, guys. If you've been struggling, do a little bit of self-care. Even if it's just taking half an hour to read a book. I can highly recommend the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett. If you haven't read them, why haven't you? He's my go-to for escapism. So, yeah, even if it is just sitting in the garden for 10 minutes, make sure you look after yourselves. And have a fantastic weekend, and hopefully see some of you on Sunday. If not, see you back here next Friday. Have a fab weekend, people, and thank you so much for joining me.